Hello Exceptionals, hope you are awesome. Marcus Pearce here with you. Happy fabulous Friday wherever you are in the world. Not going to come off that way. This is all about food today. We are video 5 of 10. Tell you what, it's hot up here. If you hear cicadas in the background, it's just because it's so hot. I wanted to get in the ocean all day today, but big day of work, and putting together this makes me realise that, I'm going to talk at triple speed because today we are talking about your exceptional 2020 in relation to your food. We've already spoken about your social life, your movement, your life purpose, and all of the consequences of if any of those areas are mediocre. Today, it's all about nutrition. And I think the most important thing to remember at the very beginning, just hit the nail on the head, draw out the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the food gurus who have died prematurely. The dead food gurus. It sounds disrespectful, and I'm not being disrespectful to any one of these people. They here, more than anything, they serve as an example to teach us some pretty key lessons around food. So let's talk about number one, Nathan Pritikin. Nathan Pritikin died age 69. Pritikin diet, one of the biggest, most popular diets ever. Nathan Pritikin died age 69. He'd had cancer for many years, on and off. But when he was 69, diagnosed with leukemia, he committed suicide. Now, 69 is below the average life expectancy. He took his own life, and he was one of the most popular food gurus in the world. Michael Montagnac, I love saying that name, the French. Michael Montagnac died from prostate cancer, age 66. Montagnac was the basis of the South Beach diet. Prostate cancer, 66. Just to give you an idea, the life expectancy today is 83. When these guys died, it wasn't that low. These are all premature deaths. Robert Atkins died age 72. Just should put that in there. 69, 66. The Atkins diet, I'm sure you've heard of it, heart attack. And Adele Davis, a famous American nutritionist, died at age 70. Now again, I'm not saying any of this to be disrespectful. What I'm here to make it obviously, hopefully to you, obviously clear, is that you are not what you, fill it in, eat. If these deaths, these premature deaths tell us anything, we are not what we eat. We are so much more than what we eat. I'll bring it up a bit later. We are what we dedicate our lives to. We are how we move our bodies. We are how we socialize. We are how we integrate with our families. We are how we learn and develop. We are how we manage our money. We are how we look after our spirit, our soul, and our faith. We are not just what we eat. We cannot buy into this belief. I know it's so socially acceptable and everybody says that you are what you eat. Well, if you were what you ate, the people that had the best diets in the known universe should be living that. Should have lived a whole lot longer than 69, 66, 72 and 70. So I say this, if you are becoming anally retentive, and don't worry, I've been there, I was a vegan for 7 years and I could tell you everything about my daily diet. As I said, when Maya was born, the poor girl, she had quinoa and kale every morning for the first 2.5 years of her life. If you have become so structured around your food and you are what you eat, I tell you what, anecdotally, I'm still yet to find a 100-year-old vegan. I can find a number of health gurus or food gurus that have died prematurely. These aren't the only 4. We are not what we eat. More than anything, we are those 8 areas of life that I expressed, but we are, if you want to go down this path, take a look at our ancestors. I think that's the most important thing. If you want to find out, well, what am I? If I'm not what I eat, what did your ancestors eat? If you love coconut water and coconut yogurt and coconut, desiccated coconut and coconut chips and coconut oil and I'm trying to think of all the coconut products we have in the house, and you grew up in Ireland, or you've got English heritage where there is not one coconut tree growing, the coconut's probably going to tell you something. It'll probably tell your body that it's just not right for you. So ancestrally, looking at your heritage, thankfully for me, I've got some Lebanese blood, which I always remember. I made the faux pas in class 1, grade 1. When we were talking about a heritage, I said I have lesbian blood. I was meant to say I have Lebanese blood. I have Lebanese blood. My great-grandparents were Lebanese. I am very, very good on the Mediterranean diet. I'm all about fats. I love my olive oil. But you know what? If you've got Anglo-Saxon, I've got a grandfather that is also from Scotland. if you have Anglo-Saxon and you don't have a coconut tree within cooee of your ancestry, just you might. I'm not saying you do, but you might just want to look into that a little bit more. And then the second diet that I know works and works really well, because my mum talks about it all the time, and I'm sure someone will write a book called this diet, is the don't buy it diet. Just not buying the stuff that you know you don't need. And this is a really big thing for me in 2020. I'm even healthy stuff, you know, because I am prone to have too many calories, even if it's from healthy food, which is not necessarily the way to go with food. So 2 diets: your ancestry, check them out, and the don't buy it diet. Every other diet, I'm telling you right now, is gone. Even as my great mate Damien Christoph said in a recent edition of 100 Not Out when he was talking about trends for 2020, the paleo diet is no longer in everyday vocabulary. Keto is now in our vocabulary. And before that, well, obviously vegan as well, but vegan is probably maturing to be far more lifestyle based than just food. But just be really, really clear. Don't buy into you are what you eat. You are part of what you eat. Let's broaden this a little bit more. You are not just what you eat. That's part of it, yes, but you are also how you eat and who you eat with. I know people that eat the best food ever, and they eat so quickly that they have got indigestion, they've got gas, they've got bloating, and they might be having a grass-fed, bunless beef brisket burger with a salad. It's bunless though. And it's gone in 3 minutes, if that. I am telling you, and again, I am the slowest eater in the world, but I have worked so hard, because I used to be a fast eater, at chewing 16, 21, 42 times, pick a number, look up a Fibonacci number, choose a Fibonacci number, but chew, and don't do this every time, people think you're crazy, but get conscious about your own eating principles. Are you making the best chicken salad? Are you a raging vegan and have put together the best chickpea dal? That was always my favourite, my dal makhani, chickpea masala, whatever you've made. Lentil bolognese. If you're chewing it 3 times every mouthful, dude, do that. Chill. Master the art of eating. To anyone can eat. Eating intelligently is a completely different skill set. Just do one thing. I'm going to do 2 things actually. Do one thing. Number 1, count your chews. Number 2, and I might sound like a passive aggressive parent of 4 kids here, but number 2, when you've got your knife and fork in your hand, put your knife and fork down in between mouthfuls. Let them go. Let them go. And don't replace it with your phone. Just let them go. Put them on your lap. Put them on the table. I don't care. But just put them down and chew. And chew relatively slowly. And yes, just let the food digest in your mouth. Chew it until it's really, really small. I'll tell you what, your meal will last longer. More value. You will feel better. You will be, and you will get more feedback. You probably know this, but it takes around 20 minutes for the brain to let the body know where it's up to in the digestive process. Now, if you eat it in 3 minutes flat, 1, you don't have time to really know if you're full, so you'll eat more because you think you haven't satiated your hunger. But 2, you'll have all of those previous symptoms that I spoke about. And I don't even want to think about how those smaller symptoms lead on to bigger things down the track. You know, I've just been putting together an article for the Go Vita magazine. 50% of Australians, according to the CSIRO, have low-level digestive systems, and 1 in 7 people have a digestive disease of some kind. Over 40 million Americans have a digestive disease, or maybe it was 60 or 70 million. Everyone's got a freaking gut problem. I'm saying, yes, what you eat is important, but secondly, how are you eating? Don't swallow your kimchi or your sauerkraut too quickly. Chew it. Chew it. And then the third pillar to mastering the art of eating intelligently, when you recognize that it's not all about the diet gurus and you're going to eat well, but who are you eating with? Who are you eating with? At the moment, I make breakfast every morning, eggs and greens, however way you want them. And I have breakfast with the kids. Sarah's normally out going for a walk, having some quality time to herself. And I, this morning, had Spencer on my lap because he wasn't happy on the floor, fair enough. And the kids around, you know, having a chat, whatever. Now, it wasn't the most peaceful breakfast I've ever had, let me tell you. But it was wonderful to be having breakfast with my children. Now, would it have been better to be by myself in a cafe in Byron, checking my phone and eating a meal? I think it was, for the rush of it all, I think it was far more uplifting, enriching, healthy to be around my children. Now, don't get me wrong, particularly when I'm traveling, I love nothing more than a solo meal. But what I want you to assess, particularly for 2020, is how many meals do you have that are by yourself? Really, if it's a lot, if it's over 2/3, so if one meal you have is with others, main meal, don't worry about snacks. If one main meal is with others and 2 are by yourself, I'd be working really hard to make at least one of those meals with others. Now with others, it could be colleagues, it could be family, but one thing that I think is really takes initiative, as I said in social yesterday, is a really good idea, is bring family and friends over to your house and set, particularly if you don't have kids, you're single, you live by yourself, set a time where you must leave work, and the best way to do it is have people over at your house. If you know you want, or just invite yourself over to other people's houses for dinner. Look, as you may know, I go to Ikaria every year. They've mastered the art of eating well, and you know why? Because they eat with their family and their friends. When they come home from work, they're eating with people. Who are you eating with? If you are eating by yourself more than 2/3 of the time, have more dinners at your house or have more dinners at other people's houses, or whatever the meal is. Have a meal with a colleague and develop a friendship by don't talking to them about work. Talk to them about their personal life. Find out about them. What are their hobbies, their family situation, where do they live, where did they grow up, what footy team do they support, all the important questions. But this is what food does. It brings people together. Are you letting food be a vehicle to bring and attract you to people, or is it just a vehicle to nourish you? That is not what food is solely about. It is far more than that. You look at all the longevity cultures, they all eat different foods, okay? The Okinawans are rice and fish and veggies and not much fruit. The Mediterranean longevity cultures of Ikaria and Sardinia, they are Mediterranean diet, essentially meat and 3 veg. Loma Linda in California, the Seventh-day Adventist, Blue Zone, they are vegetarian. And then Nicoya, Costa Rica, they are corn-based. So, all the longevity diets are different. So think about, as you move forward, what are you eating? Yes, seasonal, local, organic, whole foods most of the time, ideally, but don't be anal about it. The Icarians love hot chips. They're frying potatoes left, right, and centre. They break all the rules. But do it well. Just one thing whilst we're talking about this, because I know how much time have I got left. What are we up to here? Oh, yeah, a couple of minutes. Let's talk about alcohol, because food and wine, food and grog, often goes hand in hand, particularly in Australia. I'm just going to give you the Icarian way of life, and then I'll finish up. In Ikaria, they grow their own wine. Wine is, it's just like water over there. But here's what they do. They never drink on an empty stomach. Never. Australians, we're encouraging on an empty stomach. They never drink alone. Australians, it's socially acceptable to drink by yourself. They put water in their wine. We would call that sacrilege. They eat whilst they're drinking. And they frown upon getting drunk. They're all for getting tipsy, but they frown upon getting drunk. Where do you score on all of that? And again, don't take it personally, but most Aussies that I know don't score very well on that at all. So are you drinking alcohol, and particularly if you're eating by yourself, are you drinking by yourself? Are you drinking to excess? I mean, Icarians will have 3 or 4 glasses of wine every night, but they're doing it with friends. They're eating slowly. They're dancing, or they're talking, or they're doing this with their hands, but they're engaged, and they don't get drunk. They know when to stop. So I want you to be really clear on this. And mind you, the Icarian glasses are those small glasses, right? So be mindful. So I've spoken today about nutrition. If you overbake you are what you eat, you're still in the category of being diseased. As I said, I've showed you examples of cancer and a lot of them were cancer and heart attack. They all ate well. Be really mindful. But you don't want to be just so good at your nutrition, but then you're not social. You're putting all this good fuel in the car, but you're not moving the car. You're still on the path to dementia. You're doing well with your food, but you hate your job. You're still on the path to major regret. And if it's causing ruckus in your family, watch out for major family challenges and the rest, which I'll go through in the next series of videos. If you want the rest of these videos, marcuspearce.com.au/2020. And if you want to dive deep into this, come to Byron Bay, May 16 and 17. Go to marcuspearce.com.au/Byron Bay. I'm over and out for now. Another banging on about another subject. Hope you enjoyed it. Love you lots. May the rest of your life be the best of your life. Bye, folks.